Hi, my name's Russ Radcliffe. I'm the editor of a collection of political cartoons about Malcolm Turnbull called My Brilliant Career.
And I'm Jim Bridges. I'm the president of the Australian Cartoon Museum.
We've had a long-term fascination with Malcolm Turnbull. He's one of the most remarkable political figures of his generation, I think.
Yeah, I think we're all fascinated. We all want to find out what's going to happen.
And Alan Moore did this brilliant series of cartoons which were about basically Turnbull's destiny and his sense of destiny and where he was going to go. And it's based around this idea of the book My Brilliant Career.
And all the imagery about him it all speaks of destiny. He's Napoleon. He's a great leader in all these different aspects.
Yeah. This is a cartoon about the Republican Convention. I guess this is our first major look at Malcolm Turnbull, and this is, of course, with John Howard.
And he enters politics
with a lot of baggage.
But that's money.
That's money, yeah. Of course, he was on the backbench for quite some time, advocating tax reform.
Blowing his own trumpet.
And later on he became Minister for the Environment, and he led John Howard into support of an ETS.
Which wasn't easy.
No, trying to catch up with Kevin Rudd and Garrett there, as you can see.
John's more brown than green.
That's right. This is a beautiful cartoon about the immediate chaos surrounding the Liberal loss. And you see Turnbull there with his top hat. The leadership contest between Brendan Nelson and Malcolm Turnbull there, done beautifully by Mark Knight, using the image of the Hadron Collider.
But we know what happened.
We know what happened. This is a minimalist lynch there.
Absolutely. At this moment, we need a thick-skinned, arrogant bastard with unshakable self-belief.
And that's exactly what the Liberal Party thought of him. And a Bill League. I guess this is kind of deconstructing Turnbull's own view of his own humble background.
Yeah, and this is the wisdom of Turnbull. And Spooner's done a great job. Great job.
Yeah.
You can buy everything. Education, health, buy it all.
Spooner was the great forensic analysis of Turnbull's economic policies, as you can see here. It's the Dickensian version of Turnbull.
Please, sir, I want less.
Lovely cartoon. And one of the things which brought him down, of course, was the Utegate hoax, and it was an example of Turnbull's hubris and overreach, where he demanded the resignation of Kevin Rudd.
And of course he's walking. Look at his expression. I mean, he's not at all worried.
Climate change, of course, was the issue which defined Malcolm Turnbull, and this is a lovely image by Peter Nicholson, which he basically alienated himself from the rest of the Liberal Party, who didn't quite follow his views on climate change.
Yeah, and it led to his demise as a leader.
A kamikaze mission, Bill Leake's kamikaze. He was cast adrift.
With the occasional mutiny.
And noticed Nick Minchin and Joe Hockey, the flag, beautiful drawing.
Dun, 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 dun,
and when he came back into cabinet, he was given the job of communications minister. It was a deliberate attempt, really, to draw him in and to draw him in. And, yeah.
Anyway, there he's waiting his turn.
With dignified silence.
Yeah. And of course, everybody is thinking about
the Messiah,
the second coming.
Who's going to get us out of this mess? And I guess this is part of the recreation of Malcolm Turnbull. He reinvented himself as this reasonable, small L liberal who appealed very much to the left, to the centre and the left. And he'd appear on Q&A with his leather jacket, and he'd be kind of dog whistling to the left.
And
some ways.
Then the Liberal Party gave him the job to get stuck into
and
the
they
ABC.
Said, prove your loyalty. Go and get those guys.
Yeah.
And David Pope saw him as Gulliver. And you notice all the little figures around him, the talkback figures are little parrots, little Alan Joneses.
And finally he wins the leadership.
Yeah, and he escapes.
Free at last, free at last.
And note the beautiful angry Abbott there.
Yeah.
And the dream team, of course, is Malcolm, but versions of all the great figures of history with Malcolm's face on, kind of a vision of his narcissism, which has always followed him.
But can he unlock the entrenched conservatism that exists in the Liberal Party and the rest of Australia?
Yeah. Well, he made a great start. At least he got some women into the cabinet, which Tony Abbott only ever managed to get, I think, 2 women in cabinet. Yeah. So, but you know,
everybody gave him a long honeymoon.
A honeymoon, yeah.
And I think he didn't do much in his honeymoon, did he?
He didn't. No, he floated a lot of ideas, and his much promised view of an agile Australia was very rapidly tied up by the right wing of his party. And this is an old cartooning cliche in a sense, Monk's scream, but done beautifully there by Alan Moore. Early on in the piece, he upset many people on the centre left by the reduction of the number of climate scientists.
And brought up tax reform.
Yeah. Just wants a friendly chat with it. It doesn't really mean it. Just wants a chat about it. And of course, this was the end result. Instead of the great iceberg of tax reform, he gets a couple of ice cubes from Scott Morrison.
And Malcolm demolishes his own past achievements, but we both think that he's demolishing his...
It's his future achievements that he's demolishing. That's right. This brilliant future, this destiny, has now been, in a sense, already undermined.
They've talked about politicians as Teflon coated and all that sort of stuff. I don't know, there's just something about him. You wouldn't call him Teflon coated, but it's just... He's going somewhere.
It's his capacity to reinvent himself. I think that's the thing with Turnbull, which he's done several times over his life. And I think that's what makes him the most fascinating political figure of his generation.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
Goodbye.